Hello, good people of Whiskeydom, and welcome to another Whiskey Review with me, the Whiskey Novice. Thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you. We are into Scotland once again, this time looking at one of the big boys. Grant's owned Glenfiddich and the Glenfiddich 14-year-old. We're sort of, I'm not going backwards here. This just popped up on my radar recently, so I picked it up. Around the 40 to 50 pounds a bottle mark, so it wasn't that dear. Bottle to 43%, so imagine, well, chill filtered. I imagine there's colour added to that as well, because it's 14 years, it's ex-bourbon cask, right? The bang on about the ex-bourbon, but it's finished in virgin oak. It's actually sort of going a little bit against what I generally like, but as I said, it just popped up on my radar. Glenfiddich, I've never done anything to offend me in the past, so I thought I'd give it a go. Let's give it a go then. Absolutely nothing to shock here. In that, it's ex-bourbon cask maturation. So you would expect vanilla. It's there. You would expect caramel. It's there. Fruit, orange. Yes, it's there. Maybe even, yes, there's hints of even grapefruit in there, but not a lot. It's the usual ex-bourbon cask. It doesn't shock. It doesn't, stand out really. But, there's also at 43%, there's nothing in that nose to offend. So I can't really say an awful lot bad about it. Can't really say an awful lot about it, full stop. Ex-bourbon cask, mostly. Let's get into the palate and see what changes up. This is where this whiskey comes to life. It's a lovely, bright, I'm going to say sweet and sour. Not that overly sweet, actually. Delivery. It's the development of this whiskey that really brings it to life. So, all of the vanilla's there. All of the caramel's there. It's whenever it starts to get into the back of the palate that the virgin oak starts to kick in. And it's beautiful. It's so bright, green apple, really, really crispy green apple. And I talk about virgin oak and maybe some ginger. Yeah, maybe there is a little hint of ginger here. Gooseberry, yes, definitely. It's a lovely, clean sharpness. But it is sharp and nice and just playful. There's a term I haven't used in whiskey before, but it's just it's just nice and inoffensive, but you feel like you're getting something. Put it like that. Had Glenfiddich stopped with just ex-bourbon, this would have been one-dimensional. It would have been all right, but it would have been one-dimensional. It's now multi-layered. With the addition of that virgin oak being used at the back end of the maturation. And it even brings a bit of life. I mean, the nose, as I was bringing that up to my mouth there, I could smell it again, and it was even bringing more life to the nose and adding that extra layer to it as well. And even the finish. Even the finish is quite good. It's long. It's if it's oaky, it's light oaky. It's white. There's hints of white pepper. The gooseberry still plays around in the background. I'm genuinely very surprised by this. And for a 14-year-old, I know it doesn't offer a whole lot. Chill filter, yes. Colour added, probably 43%. But if you take that age into it, 14 years, and say 40 to 50 pounds, you're paying that for a lot of 12-year-old whiskies of the same calibre as such, as in you're paying the same amount for a 43% chill filter, etc. 12-year-old. So for 14 years, it's an extra couple of years. It's just a good whiskey. Is it good enough to replace? I don't know. I doubt it, to be honest with you. I would say this is probably a one and done situation. However, I just think it's decent enough. Drop of water doesn't change it up an awful lot. Softens it up a bit, maybe slightly fruitier, but it certainly doesn't bring a whole lot more to the table. But I just like it. It's weird sometimes when you just need maybe a palate reset or something like that. This would be a damn good palate reset because there's nothing overpowering in it, but there's still excitement in it. So can't really say an awful lot more than that. The nose does change. The nose does change. Hints of licorice. No. Aniseed. It's aniseed. There's hints of aniseed in there, which is interesting. Once again, there's definitely stuff going on here that I think is interesting. And it's not just a sort of standard run-of-the-mill space cider. They are space cider, aren't they? Yeah. It's not a throwaway whiskey, put it like that. I think it's good enough to stand up on its own. So what would I suggest as an alternative? Well, it's more down the virgin oak side of things, and I'm going to go with the Deanston virgin oak, which was another one which, at the time, but the longer I've sat over it, the longer I've spent with the Deanston virgin oak, I think actually it's just taking me time to start and enjoy virgin oak. I was just never a massive fan of virgin oak. I found it generally a bit hot and gingery, or there was something going on. But then it's like all of them, if you keep working at them, they all can manipulate these whiskies and do their thing with it. The virgin oak, not an expensive thing from Deanston. Oh, this is nice. It's weird. I think actually I would prefer this Glenfiddich over the Deanston, but the Deanston and the Glenfiddich, similar is the reason why. And that's why I'm saying if you've had this Glenfiddich 14-year-old, you've enjoyed it. This is a good example. This Deanston Virgin Oak is a good example of something you should try as an alternative. There, that was, there, I've explained that one away. That's me done. I did enjoy that. Well done, Glenfiddich. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much to my patrons. Should you wish to support the channel, should you wish to join that group, the details are in the video description below. I'll be back next time to see you with something else. Until then, look after yourselves. Here's to your good health. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.